Hello everybody, and welcome to the famous Matches of Magic channel. Today we present one of 3 Legacy Magic Online Championship tournaments. This one is for the Bayou Painting. This matchup is between the Magic Online handle JoergHeinrich piloting Elves and the Magic Online handle Talisker playing 4 Color Zenith Yorion. Before we get down to the match, let's take a look at the deck list that the players are bringing down to the table. Heinrich is bringing a pretty standard elf deck to the table, and he is no stranger to elves as he has top-8'd Eternal Weekend multiple times with elves. He has a new toy that he can search up with Green Sun Zenith this year and Grist the Hunger Tide, which is both a planeswalker and a creature that he can search up with Green Sun Zenith, which is cute. He also has a new card in Endurance from Modern Horizons 2, which he can invoke by removing a green card from his hand, and he can Green Sun Zenith it up and fight the graveyard. Other than that, is a pretty standard elf deck that can both combo out with Glimpse of Nature, or it can do a pretty quick Natural Order Craverhoof Behemoth, or it can just attack with a bunch of elves and power out a quick big fatty with a Gaia's Cradle. Elves is an extremely powerful deck that can attack on multiple axes. Talisker is also playing a Green Sun Zenith deck. He is playing Bant and has a bunch of good cards, just all the good cards in those colors. He has the Cantrips and Ponders and Brainstorms. He has Abundant Growths that are just Cantrips that can fix his mana. He has Uro that can draw him cards, gain him life, and get some faster mana. He has Permission in the forms of Force of Will and Force of Negation to stop some early combo decks. Another powerful Modern Horizon 2 card in Prismatic Ending, which can just kill any permanent as long as he has the colors. And you can also search up a Leovold with Green Sun Zenith, which is just an amazingly powerful card that anything is targeted just draws him an extra card, stops his opponent from drawing extra cards. Just so amazing of a card. Now he has to play with 80 cards so that he can get his Yorion for free out of the commander zone. This is an extremely interesting deck that I am excited to see play. Now that we know a little bit about these decks, let's see who will be the 2021 Eternal Legacy Bayou Champion. Yorion is on the play, and he is going to start with a Misty Rainforest, cracks it for a Green Sun Zenith, and searches up a Dryad Arbor. On the first turn, the elf player starts by playing his sack land, and he cracks it for just a regular forest, and he plays his Heritage Druid and passes it back. Turn 2, the Yorion player plays an Uro off of his Dryad Arbor, cracks his Windswept Heath for a Tundra, and plays a Ponder. Passes the turn back to Heinrich. Heinrich attacks with the Heritage Druid for 1. Plays an Elvish Reclaimer and a Bajuka Bog, which removes the graveyard of the 4-color Yorion deck, which gets rid of the Uro, which sets him back quite a bit. Yorion plays an Abundant Growth as a cantrip, allowing him to get any color of mana, then plays his 1 Birds of Paradise and a Prismatic Ending, getting rid of the Elvish Reclaimer, and passes the turn back to Heinrich. Heinrich plays his Wirewood Symbiote and attacks for 1 once more. Talisker plays a Green Sun Zenith for 3, searching up a Leovold, which will turn off all of the Glimpse of Natures of Heinrich, and he passes the turn back, and he has a natural order and a glimpse of nature and an endurance in hand, and he is trying to make sure that that natural order will resolve, as that is pretty much his game plan. So he is luring out all the counter spells possible. That is why he's end of turn casting that endurance, and that works exactly as planned, and that endurance gets counseled, and he is attacking for 3 there, as he really wants that natural order to win him the game. Now Talisker puts the Yorion in his hand, and that's the only card, so now we know the natural order is going to resolve. He plays the Elvish Visionary, which is going to pump up all the creatures once he searches up the Crater Hoof Behemoth. He plays the natural order and gets in for everything, which is game over. First game goes to Heinrich. Heinrich is on the draw once more with a pretty good hand, and he starts with a Windswept Heath. And he searches up just a snow-covered forest and plays a Wirewood Symbiote and passes the turn, but it gets Swords to Plowshare. Talisker starts with a Ponder on turn 2 and a Misty Rainforest, being able to shuffle away the other cards if he chooses. But Heinrich starts with an Elvish Visionary on turn 2 and draws another card. Talisker does shuffle away the other cards and searches up a tropical island and a wasteland, which he wastes on a bayou, and passes the turn back to Heinrich, who draws a Once Upon a Time. He plays a Wooded Foothills and chooses not to attack with the Elvish Visionary, which is interesting. Prismatic Vista comes down for Talisker, and he does nothing and just passes the turn, and end of turn Heinrich does cast the Once Upon a Time and gets another Wirewood Symbiote. He baits out a counter spell with a Glimpse of Nature, which ends up meeting a counter spell after a snow-covered island searches up, which meets a Force of Negation, and that's pretty much the only target in the elf deck. A Bajuka Bog empties the graveyard of Talisker, who then plays another Ponder and then a Preordain, digging rapidly for something good, and then plays another Wasteland to take out the black mana, and then a Prismatic End does kill the Wirewood Symbiote. So he's just doing everything he can to get rid of all of the creatures of Heinrich, who plays another Elvish Visionary and a Dryad Arbor. Windswept Heath for Talisker searches up another tropical island, who taps 4 mana and a Green Sun Zenith for 3 that meets up an Uro, which will go straight to the graveyard since it is not escaped. But he is almost to enough creatures, which that puts him to enough cards in the graveyard now. Well, he will be able to escape it after he goes for the Swords to Plowshares on the Dryad Arbor. So he's being very aggressive in killing all of the elves, but there is more graveyard hate in the Endurance, which gets rid of all of that work of Talisker, who is very disgruntled after that. Endurance is just such a powerful card, and we get a Once Upon a Time from Heinrich. 3 damage comes in from the Endurance, who is just doing lots of work for him, and then another Elvish Reclaimer coming down for Heinrich, who just plays his Yorion to an empty board, which just shows that he is just being very desperate, just playing a blocker. So it is not looking good at all for Talisker. He does not have anything to blink, playing it for no value, and there comes a Glimpse of Nature for the Heinrich, who plays his Planeswalker there, which draws him a card, as it is considered a creature in every zone, and He kills the Yorion and then just gets in for lots of damage with his elves, and this just shows the versatility of the elf deck. Here comes a Plague Engineer naming elves, but it is not going to be enough, as Heinrich has 2 natural orders in his hand, but he does have the Craterhoof Behemoth, so he's going to need another target to search up, but he is at 4 life already, so I mean the endurance is going to be just enough alone, let alone the 2 natural orders in his hand. So it's pretty much inevitable that Heinrich is probably going to win here, but you never know what could happen. Maybe a sweeper will come down, so we'll see what happens here. We have a Green Sun Zenith here, so he is being desperate to get some blocker, as we have 2 Ice Fang Coils, which get to draw him some cards and get to Death Touch. So hey, he's clawing his way back into the game, so never say never, but the Elvish Reclaimer is sacking to get the Gaia's Cradle. If he didn't have the Craterhoof Behemoth in hand, then it would be game over, but since he has the Craterhoof Behemoth in hand, he is a little short on mana to hard cast it, so he's going to have to search up another target, and he did board in his Progenitus, so it is probably game over, as I don't think there are any board sweepers in the Talisker's deck. So let's see if Talisker can pull out a miracle here, as he is blocking the Endurance and the Elvish Reclaimer, and the Progenitus is probably going to be enough, and it is. So Heinrich is the 2021 Bayou Legacy Champion. Congratulations. And I would like to thank you all for watching this video. Please make sure to check out all of the Legacy and Vintage Championship videos on this channel. We have all the Vintage and Legacy Championships going back to 2014. Those with the real cards can be much more entertaining to watch. Also, make sure to check out the history of the Pro Tour on the famous Matches of Magic series. We are on season 2 now, which have some of the greatest matches, so make sure to check those out. Please like and subscribe to support this channel, and I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much, and have a great day.